Right, channel of light fluid. Welcome back to our Seeker Saga as we enter into chapter 7. We are getting closer to the end. What's going to happen this time? Thick clouds loomed above us when I hastily returned to Havenhearth. All the while we walked, something deep inside me didn't sit right. It yanked at my nerves all the while. And the return to Haven only validated those nerves. No guard stood by the gates. In fact, not a single creature was in sight. Something felt eerily off. What do we do? I suppose we go inside and see? That's all we can do. The moment we approach the gates, I'm startled by a familiar voice from behind. A small elf emerges from his hiding place behind several wooden crates and runs towards us. Hi, Geralt. Oh, thank Aswin. What's going on? I don't know. I wanted to run for the Seeker's cabin to find you, but I couldn't. So I thought I could hide and wait for you to come back. What do you mean? What happened? Fenrir glances around, fumbling his words in hastened explanations. After the ceremony, a chorus ceremony, royal guards took her straight to the castle. They even let her make a speech. And that started all the weird stuff. I don't know what's going on. They took her away, and then the creatures were let in. They let in Colvins, and they attacked. Creatures scrambled their homes. I saw some guards, but I don't know. I was scared, so I didn't want to wait to ask anyone. I just ran to town. Breathe. It's all right. Fenrir takes a few moments to focus on longer, slower breaths. I wanted to run to the castle, but I know they wouldn't even let me in if I did. You're safe now. I hope so. Oh, what should we do? There's nothing we can do out here. We have no choice but to head into the city. What? All right. Linra pulls the bow from her back and readies it by her side, just in case. Zane grips his halberd timidly. The first time I notice unease upon his face. Linra seems to notice as well. She goes to speak again. You're not second-guessing our adventures, are you? Quite the opposite. But the creatures in there, how will we know who's who? What should we do? Zane and the others turn to me, seeking guidance. Avoid everyone. We need to find our brigade first. That seems the wisest. A safe one we can find our friends. I like it. Do we head for Cora? If Fenrir said she was taken to the castle, it's probably the safest place for her right now. Right. We should try to find everyone else first. Then we can check on Cora. Still, we can figure it all out before we make any wrong moves. Got it. Let's go. You guys are really going in? We have to find the others. I don't want to go in. I don't want to stay here either. You'll come with us. Stay by my side and we'll stick close to Geraint and the others, okay? Okay. We make a cautious pace towards the looming city walls within. The cobblestone rocks pattered underneath our uneasy steps. The city lay eerily quiet in the darkness cast by the thick clouds overhead. There was an unnerving smell of smoke and something almost metallic in the air. "Oh, where to first?" Azalea questions out from behind, her hand clasping on Fender's shoulder, holding him close. "Your guess is as good as mine. Night?" "Let's check the town square first." Roger." As we made our way to the centre of town, I couldn't hold my nerves in control. Everything was different. Every building we passed sat barred in wooden planks. No doors were left open, and window shutters clasped tightly closed. Even in the darkness of the overcast skies, no light could be seen behind them. That is, save for the one building ahead. The door was left hanging outward into the street, half its hinges busted entirely. Rolling flames barreled from the frames of the window, billowing smoke into the air. Having not seen any smoke from earlier, I could only guess this to be recent. Screams echoed between the streets far beyond. With the fading echo, I could hardly tell if it came from the alley beyond or from blocks away. All of us gripped our weapons tighter in that very moment. No, we should check that alley before we go further. I don't think our brigade would be there. It's not just that. Zane nods his head back to our friends. Linra, recognising the context from her friend, speaks up. "It's for me. We'll stay by the wall in case we need to run in the other direction." "What do you mean? Why would we run?" From an ambush. My legs can't carry me as fast as you guys, and, well..." Linra looks over to Fender, only a mere few inches taller than her. "It's what we do. Me and you can check it out, Knight." Sounds good. Zane and I alone round the corner of the street. Flames from the nearby building lit bright enough to reflect off the pale stone walls and light the alley ahead of us. "There?" "Huh?" I squint, very able to make out a few figures running from the other side of the alley. Cloaks hid their bodies, forming milly silhouettes. And it was this moment I was realising the haze that loomed around us. Another fire was seen from several buildings beyond, with the stone bricks around us, trapping the haze between the cold city walls. I shivered, realising now just how cold the stones nearby felt to the touch. Malente had always felt smouldering hot in the day, yet only bitter cold at night due to the climate so near to the Sarah Sands. Something was off with the town. The silence was wrong. Something more than just an attack. Just then, Zane kneels directly in front of me, nearly causing me to stumble over him. "Easy," he muttered as I looked at him, only now realising her body was lying crumpled next to a smashed barrel of rubbish. She looked to be feline, but blood had matted her fur deeply, her body already crumbling to a crystallising state. I can't tell if she was Malente or Culvin, but she's long gone. We should head back to the others. Yeah. "No!" Azalea's shouts echoed from view. Nothing else was needed for us to run back around the corner at full speed. What little time it even took us to reach the street was all that was necessary for the events to transpire. I round the corner to see two elves, one sheathing his sword while the other leaves his blade cautiously in hand. Down the line from sight, Lenra stands with her bow at full draw and pointing their way. "What's going on?" Zane lowers his halberd, blade pointing towards the two elves. Hey man, we're just trying to escape town." "I don't know what's happening here and I don't care. I saw no Culvins attack, but I'm not waiting to find out." "They were coming at me with blades drawn. I told them to back off. Twice." "I wasn't going after you, but the exit is that way." He points down the road behind Linra, in the same direction we came to enter town. "We're not here for them." Azalea turns from me. "We should find your friends." Just go. Oh, thank you. We watch wearily as the elves slowly scoot across the other side of the street, hands up all the while. Moments later, and their backs are turned, running through the streets. That better not bite us back in return. I go to speak, but my attention is cut off by hushed gasps. We're not safe here. Go, go. The voices came from a framed window across the street. I turned toward the source, only heard the loud slam of closing shutters, followed by a metallic clack of a lock. What's done is done. Let's finish reaching the town square. We head in the direction of the town square, passing by a guard in the streets. He banged repeatedly against a closed wooden door, shouting loud enough for the inhabitants within to hear. Lock your doors and don't come out again. There are culvins about, fit to kill any of you fools. He turns to us, and for a moment I feel he may try to intercept. But after recognising me, he merely nods. Kill any of those scum you see. Nearing the edge of the town square, I see Saku and Kameo, among several other creatures. I know I saw her. I swear I did. Who? I noticed the creature talking to Kameo from before, one beside Rashek and Zemir, but Rashek was nowhere to be seen here. Tal, my daughter. I saw her with you when you entered Havenhearth. Now look, dude, I'm sorry. I don't know who that is. The only husky I know lives in this era. She's not a husky. Kameo, maybe you misjudged. I noticed a familiar cat nearby place a paw to Kameo's shoulder. I'm sticking with you now, friend. We can find her later, but you won't be able to if you die in the middle of a siege. Beside them, Saku stands with several of the Raven Knights who originally travelled back to Havenhearth with us. This is why you should stay with you as well. What? Saku, the people of Havenhearth need us. No, only is it dangerous. A likely political issue. A Palantir. Raven Knights mustn't get involved. How is this political? I know there are nations involved. Bandits, if anything, are ravaging the town. I noticed Yara nearby become visibly uncomfortable. You know, you should find the others. They said they were heading to the tavern. What you call it, the sanctuary? Kameo turns to answer her, eyes widening at the sight of us. All right. How long have you been standing there? I'm so glad you made it back. What is happening? A siege is taking place. No one is sure how or why, but you are staying to help out the injured. Oh, we are. Yes, but only long enough until the Ravens can head back and assess the situation, safely away from Havenhearth. I make potions. That can help you. Who's attacking? I say they're Culvins. That is all they can do. Say who it is. I think it is something else. Did any of you see the light in the sky? Lights? Above Haven. The others look at each other, just as confused. No, there was nothing of the sort above Haven. You must be mistaken. I know what I saw. You guys are the ones mistaken. Saku coos awkwardly. I feel the other matter's more important as of now. Come with us. We'll find the rest of the brigade. If that is how we can help more that way, then we will. I know Rashek and your brigade at the tavern. If there are more elsewhere, I wouldn't know. We make our way in the direction of the tavern, heading to the market along the way. Debris littered the streets on their approach to the market stalls. Peasant thieves desperately fall to the bottom of their tunics filled with vegetables and goods left out. Goblets and fine cutlery clatter from hastily overflowed shirts. I see an occasional creature hiding behind a stall, or another trying to run to his stand in a desperate attempt at locking away his goods. A dangerous move to safeguard his livelihood even among the uncertainty and chaos. In the distance I can now hear bells tolling relentlessly, a signal far too late. Among the rings I hear the rabble of familiar voices. Near the centre of the stalls I spot Mayu clasping at Soma's arm, so I can now hear them clearly, albeit mid-sentence. Back to the castle. Something does not sit right with me. I could kill Culvins endlessly if I need to, but I won't. We should be doing whatever it takes. My first and primary oath was to protect Cora by doing whatever it takes. This is not it. He elbows at Mayu's grasp as she finally lets him go. Cora is safe in the castle. What has got into you, Mayu? I'm starting to wonder if Cora's safety means anything to you. It means as much to me as it does you. She narrows her view, flickering a glance towards us out of the corner of her eye. She doubles back and turns sharply when realising our approach. Geraint is here. He can help. What's going on? The Queen Navarro has set up a truce with the Culvins, letting their families reside in the towns. Then the Culvins attacked full force. Oh, so the Royal Guard says. I've yet to see that many Culvins. Where are the others? The Navarro and Cora rushed to the castle after the ceremony, while we were forced to the centre of Haven. The rest of the brigade should be setting up defences around the tavern. So you've been here fighting Culvins? Yeah, just a few, yeah. We are protecting the outer sections for initial invasion. But we need to move on now. This area has been cleared out, so we should make our way inward toward the castle. I need to make sure Cora is safe. Did you see the light in the sky of Haven? Do you know what that was about? What? Light? A flash as bright as day, followed by quick. Oh, you couldn't miss it even if you were blind. Perplexed brows squint across Mayu's face. I literally have no clue what you're talking about. Mayu turns to Soma, who shrugs in exchange. Strange. All I know is we need to head for the castle. And we should find the rest of the brigade first, and we can head inward. Fair, we'll accompany you. Is this it? Yara turns to the doors of the tavern and yanks the handle. It's smaller than I thought. Unlocked. A sudden flip of the window shutter nearby reveals a pair of eyes beyond. Who is it? I'm here with the rest of your brigade, and the knight. I hear uncertain mumbling from beyond the window, followed by a booming voice. Oh, was that Yara? I heard Yara. Let them in. Several thuds of metal bolts on wood and the rattling of chains banged around behind the door, where it could slowly open to the faces of many worried creatures beyond. The closest of which, a guard I recognise from my own brigade, double-checks the streets outside. Quick, inside. Don't let anyone see, she says quickly in a hushed tone. None of us waste any time entering the tavern. The entire brigade was here, many in groups talking among others, with some waiting by the windows and doors with weapons at the ready. All the windows were shut with boards wedged between the handles to keep them barred and locked. The air about the room was musty from the many huddled creatures. Everyone was on edge. The bartender stood behind his counter with a worried face, before pulling another barrel from the corner in hopes to ease the mood with ale. But the mood was only chiselled deeper by a question from Zane, the same one that's been bothering my mind all the while. What happened here? We'd gone for half a day and all of Decayum broke loose. It was Cora's name day. Everything felt normal. Ceremony went on for hours till she was supposed to make her speech. During that same moment, Laveros announced a treaty with the Culvins. More like a disaster than the treaty. The Culvins used it to invade the city. Rashek looks around the room, something deeper in his mind as he interjects. For the last time, the Culvens did no such thing. They've been slaughtered alongside your civilians. Then how do you know about the Culvens? Who even are you? I know, because I'm Culven. Rashek! Yara shouts among the ringing of swords from sheaths. The guards at the brigade holding blades steady towards Rashek, and several creatures who stood near him. Among their knees, Kameo looks across the room, recognising a singular face among all the others. Tal! Kameo? The creature at the other end looks across with sudden wide eyes. She's a dainty-sized black cat with the attire of a rogue, and everything about that moment made her sink behind the counter. Kameo, without any care to either side of the tavern, runs through the centre of blades aimed at each other. They began conversing, too far for me to hear. Their conversation cut short by a guard. She's with them. She's Culven. No, impossible. Rashek, having contemplated enough, slowly looks at Yara with a nod. With her knees in her eyes, she turns to me. Please, don't let them hurt us. She turns back to the room, pulling a folded pamphlet from her bag. Put your weapons down. The Culvens didn't start this. Look, she says restlessly, unfolding the letter and showing it to the room. It is the treaty from Navera herself, between Malenthia and Culven, allowing us to enter the city and finally unite Malenthia in a bipartite system, between Navera and Tama, leader of the Culvens. Sounds about right. Till Culvens took advantage now, laying siege to the entire city. Rashek, eyeing the bear all the while, points her out. And who told you all that? How many Culvens have you actually seen among the streets? Most have either been slain or escaped, without ever laying siege to a single thing. The guard stutters, looking back in her thoughts as the others of the brigade look to her. Answer. Was it Lavera? The guard lowers her weapon, as some of the others do the same. No, some of the Royal Guard told us. Made sense to us, so we followed orders. I said it was words from Queen Lavera herself. I didn't second guess it at first, but now, I'm not sure. I glance over Yara, still holding the letter in her hands. Hand that over to the Lunar Knight. Let him see the treaty. Gladly. Yara, standing nearby, hands the paper to me. I take that moment to look it over. Was this with the parcel handed you in Zemia? Yes. We didn't think it was real. I convinced Rashek we should believe it. I didn't think it'd end up this way. It is Saint Lavera. So someone is lying then. We need to find out for ourselves. It was strange. Seeing Cora rush the castle alongside Lavera. This could be by the hand of someone else. One of the Royal Guards, maybe? Maybe. Everyone is here now. We should head to the castle when we are ready. And prepare for anything. Do you think it could be some of the Culvens? Perhaps by the hand of Tama himself. The guard shifts to wait, still unable to let the matter go. An eater of the Culvens? Where's Tama here? Rashek audibly sighs. Don't. Yara warns her comrade, but he continues anyway. Tama is not real. He never existed. What? The idea of Tama was started at the beginning of the Culvens, by me and Adoka. There is no real leader. Why are you telling them, Rashek? She asked in a hushed tone. Because the Culvens are no more. What's left of them, anyways. With the majority of the group primarily foxes, they suggested to make the name for a fox, a generic drawings that could represent anyone, yet no one specific. What more to fear than a leader could be all across Malenthia, yet nowhere to be found? Rashek nods to Soma's words. A vacant name for a fake band of bandits. Rashek pays no heed to the guard's comment. If you believe your town is more important, I think it best to focus that. We will, and then we'll settle your crimes afterwards. If we live to see it. It could be something more, or worse. I knew something was up. We need to leave for the castle. Rashek, you're coming with. Good. I wouldn't want it any other way. Rashek glares at the bear guard. She shifts the weight of her pauldrons unnervingly on his shoulder. Just please, don't tell anyone outside this room we are Culven. We need to see the truth for ourselves first. No middlemen. I agree. We don't want any unnecessary trouble. Yara looks over with hope, but says nothing else. Kameo turns with a confused expression to Yara, who now stands nearby, gesturing his paw to Tal, who sits just out of earshot. They converse while the tavern settled down, but it seems there was more that was still bugging Kameo. Look, she told me to look for her. She also said not to tell you I knew about her. That's between you and her. Yara raises her paws, leaving the call in the tavern to Kameo and I. I look to the young feline who sits on a stool near the counter, bouncing her knee and spinning the dagger on the counter. She looked like she could be Mayo's younger sister. So, this is Tal. She seemed unbothered by the event as she occasionally glanced around at the other creatures, intentionally looking in all directions. Everywhere except Kameo's direction. I still can't believe it. I'm so happy she's safe. But with the Culvens of anyone? I don't know whether I should scold her or just be happy she's alive. What happened? Did she tell you? She told me a bit, yeah. Occasionally they own would get new faces from time to time. Apparently a former patron was Culven, and I guess she chose to meet up with him and join them too. I don't understand where I went wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. I can only hope that were true. She says the same, but I don't know. Well, there is a lot we'll have to figure out. I'm sticking with Tal to make sure she can escape Haven too, but she won't leave the others either. So it seems you are going with to the castle, behind your lead. I approached Rashek and Yara in the corner of the tavern. Most of the others gave them space. Her eyes were always watching them. A knight? Rashek stood, propping his back against the wall. He showed little emotion, hiding whatever it was he felt from the room. I just want to know more about the situation. We'll tell you everything we know, although I feel it's about as much as anyone else in this room. You guys really are Culvens? Since the beginning. I joined Rashek's group a few years ago. They even hid who they were from me for several weeks. Many view them as bandits, but that was never their intention. I harmed only those who would do the same to me. Bandits did not realize the Culven Knight's purpose, to express distaste to the current crown and do what was necessary to oppose them effectively. Too many joined for the wrong purpose. Many wanted to be bandits. Many wanted to create their own Valentia, their own Havenhearth. Before long, there were more bandits than original believers, the ones who truly felt the crown was taken from them. Adoka, my former ally, fell into it all. Stupid lizard. He began to tell me that was what we needed to be, bandits. For a while we fought over it. I gave up, let him take over. The true Culven Knights have been no more. For years. And the main reason many of us took up Lavera's treaty. What happened when you came to Haven? Lavera named a treaty. It was to welcome us home, pardon any Colvins from the wrongdoings of others. Then they created a bipartite system so Russia could take up a spot on the council, and showed them Atlanteans could unite under Lavera. Couldn't that be dangerous? Part of the treaty was accept any individual laws broken. Majority of Knights true to the Colvin purpose harm no one. If there was proof against you, you'd accept full accountability on return. So we came to Haven with the treaty in hand. There was a lot of fuss with the guards, but eventually they let us in, one after the other, taking account of everyone's name and information. Many of us sought our friends or family. Only a few remained with our initial group. There was only 3 dozen or so under my group, half of them families or kids themselves. Too small for a siege of any kind to a capital city like Havenhearth. Where is Adoka now? Oh, I do not know. I have not seen him for months. He took many of the Colvins with him too. So why agree to a deal? It still sounds like it could create problems. Oh, I know what you think. The caravan attack. That was by the hands of Adoka, or so we think. But from what we heard, that was the majority of his fighters. Almost all of them died. We expressed in truth all of this to Lavera, all done by scouts or pigeon over the course of several suns. We assumed she found truth in it after expressing the treaty. I was ready to settle outside of Valentia, but many wanted their homes back. Yara and others wanted a place to go. So we are here. Do you think there's another Colvin that attacked the city instead? For a moment, I truly thought so. This is something I wouldn't pass to Adoka to do. But knowing our treaty and the terms, Lavera knew who to expect. The guards were on the lookout for Adoka and several others. From what I can tell, everything was going smooth. By the time we heard anything, it was that we were the ones to blame for a siege. Guards started stabbing Colvin parents, arresting children. We ran to the tavern of the ones who'd stayed with me. We held the others set up defences and stayed quiet until you arrived. I tried finding more Colvins among the streets. Partly because I knew we weren't the ones to blame, at least not our group. Partly because I wanted to seek answers. Of course, I found nothing. Anyone from our group had either been taken or must have run to hide or escape. If we find no answers near the castle. Ratcheka was quiet. For the first time talking, I noticed his face slip. Sorrow and defeat glazes across his eyes. We must find answers, or we have to leave Valentia. I don't think we'll ever be welcome here now. Good night. Before we go. Yara stops me, handing a small object wrapped in loose leather. The leather falls from the side of the object. She hands it to me, revealing a small blue stone. It glows a soft blue at the touch of my fingers. A treaty. I've had it for a while. I have no real reason to learn magic. Hope you can make use of it to get us out of here. We gather our weapons as the brigade readies. Only a few choose to stay behind with the innkeeper to protect his goods, and most likely themselves. The clouds above slowly turn ever darker as the skies fade to overcast. Droplets of rain trickle occasionally, with ominous booms of thunder threatening a downpour. The streets of the capital were more so empty now, if that were even possible. Most of the civilians had found their safe haven, and now I know why little was seen of the Colvins. Both of which made for faster pacing towards the castle, but not without trouble of its own. Halfway to the castle, 2 guards block our path. They turn from each other in a wide stance with hands on their belts. The first to speak appeared in armour I've never seen. He's unrecognisable, but I expect no less in Haven. Good night, with Mayo and so many others. Going over the castle, no doubt. The second guard looked onward to us, but his tone felt more a statement for his comrade than us. Why is such a large group heading that way? As if preemptively expecting such a question, Soma speaks with little time to consider. We have been patrolling the streets and ridding them of culvins. We are now returning to make sure of Cora and Lavera's safety. The guard tilts his head at the mention of the Queen and squints. And who are they? I don't recognize them from the Royal Guard. The guard notions the Rashek and the several others that accompanied us. They stood hesitantly in their leather jerkins and short swords, easily standing out among knights. And who are they? He repeats. Okay, so I have better stats for strength and luck, and my charisma is not great anyway, so let's try bluff them. They've been part of my brigade for weeks. I didn't realize Rivera gifted the Lunar Knight liberty in creating his own crew. She had, just before he left for Zemia. You've been gone a while. The siege has been rough, but unsurprisingly easy to squash. I can assure you Cora is safe, so there's no need to return to the castle just yet. We have closed the gates to the courtyards. The affluent districts near the castle are well guarded and safe. And now the market districts can be marked safe. You have seen no more culvins. Okay. Let's try this. We must protect Haven civilians. I beckon to Azalea and Fendu by my side. Nice, natural 20. Azalea, knowing she's from Asera, remains quiet as the guards look onwards towards her. So, may we pass now? No one passes, for the safety of the Queen and her people. Do you not know who I am? The guards look to each other with a smirk, then back to us. They say nothing. I am Zane, Prince of Asera. If I die in Haven by siege, my father will have your heads for not protecting me. The second guard turns to his friend, the smirk wiped from his face. We have the registry, don't we? Maybe we should... Doesn't look like a prince to me. Well, let's check it. Make sure they're not on it, we can let them pass. Yeah, sure. The guard pulls a paper from his pouch and slowly unfolds it. Yara leans towards me with worry in the tone of her voice. Knight, me and Rashek are on that registry to identify the Culvins during the treaty. I don't think there's anything we can do about that now. Maybe they're checking for Zane to not be on the list. There's too many of us here to go over everyone. Oh, yes. Succeeded. Yeah, I don't see any of them so far. Did you check all of them? Yeah, it's the night after all. We're members of Asera and Raven Knights. The guard pauses for a moment, looking back and forth between the registry details and the brigade. Whatever, you don't look the sort to cause problems. We have anything bad from you, though. Are we coming for you first? Should we split up? That could be dangerous. The other guard has already seen us too, with the others. He nods to the Culvins. It won't matter now. Haste is our only option. Hey, there's always more guards in these districts. I know some back streets that can take us to the castle. Fender nervously speaks up. Oh, lead the way. Fender nods. It's where the creatures throw the garbage. It stinks, but it's why most creatures don't take them. This way. After ducking in out of alleyways, causing near misses with some of the guard, we reached out the yards of the castle. I was shocked to see, even among the rain that began to finally pour, a collection of creatures around the castle. The tower in the distance burned continuously as piles of bodies flaked to dust within. Civilians crowded around a balcony, now steps from the platform above. We inched closer, blended among the countless others stood with either a free hand to shield the rain from their eyes, or a torch to light the coming night. Once closer, I saw the elf above to be Queen Lavera, a look of anger written across her face. Even among the downpour, her voice boomed to the creatures below, as if carried by magic itself. Colvin shattered the norms of our home, tainted Malenthia's name. They killed your prince, Prince Alikar, my son. The creatures around us murmur among each other, mixed words of affirmation or concern. Some weep in fear. High above, Lavera continues. If we do not unite now, we fall. We fall to the Colvins at your door. They will murder everyone. They care only for your blood. Alikar tried to reason, and this is what they gave us for it. We have always tried to walk the path of light, but they stole what hope we had the moment they took him from us. Immorality is akin to demonhood. Several of the creatures begin to holler in agreement towards the castle. Decay will devour them, from death to dust. In the shadow of the moon their dying breaths will burn, and their souls will bleed into the sky. The creatures around us roared. Only a few stopped, confused by the Queen's last words. Any questions they had were drowned out by the majority. Creatures cried out for revenge. Lightning boomed above. Lavera turned, disappearing from view back into a castle, the roars of creatures cut off by the quake of Othea beneath our feet. Quickly shouts of anger turned to gasps of confusion and worry. A sudden darkness overcame the skies, if the world around us sped into night. With the darkness beyond, I could no longer see the castle bricks or the smoke from the tower. Only the torches and the creatures lit the faces of others nearby. Some began to worry, their voices only calmed by those who assured the others. It's the eclipse of Newa. It's just the eclipse of Newa. It'll pass. Yet, as moments passed, it did not. The night lingered on. We glanced into the sky, but the overcast hid any visibility to celestial bodies above. The frantic voices of creatures returned but tenfold. Soon many began to scatter for their homes. What are we doing here? We need to go. Not without my sister. Is no one going to ask what the hell that was? It is all so worrisome. Or not stand around to be lied to be killed. Guys, everyone. I hold my hands out to calm the brigade. We came to the castle to figure out what was happening and check on Cora. We'll make sure she is safe and then we can leave. We can't go on the castle, it'll be too obvious. It's likely the most guarded. That is true. We fight. No, Rashek, we can't. Not now, not here. There's too many of them. We'll split up. Some will head into the castle. The rest should escape. Where do we go? It can't be a Sarah. We are not returning there. I lay my head to my hands, rubbing the fingers across my forehead. The sudden darkness, the nerves, all of it cloudy in my mind. Well, take them out of town. Stop by Old Castle on the way to Raven's Hollow. See, now that's a neat place. I see Zane nearby as Azalea and him begin conversing. What if the others need our help? Well, I'll leave until we know more of this situation. We'll help those we see on our way out. There's still much to figure out. But to decide anything beforehand leads only to foolishness. Who does that leave? Just a few of us, and Fendur. Tara is sticking with Rashek, and I'll be with them. I don't think I put up the best of fights, anyways. It seems as Alien will feel safe with Saku. I, on the other hand, will stick with you, Knight. Zane nods affirmatively in my direction. The brigade is still many. Guards? Yes. If we don't return from the castle before nightfall, make your way out of the city. We can meet up at Old Castle with the others, until we know more. We'll wait nearby in hopes of a swift return. In the midst of this ungodly darkness, or newfound night, the brigade splits into three. Along with Fender, Mayu, Soma and Zane, we approach the castle walls. The height and location noticeable only by the plethora of torches lit around them. How should we enter? With the majority of the brigade gone, it shouldn't be too dangerous. Worst case, we talk our way out of it. We are part of the Royal Guard, after all. I hope. We should keep the element of stealth until we know for sure. Right. The main entrance is the closest to the tower stairs and Cora's room. There's also a kitchen entrance on the side, mostly used for storage entry when the doors aren't locked. Usually less guarded. At least with this night, it should be easy to get by. Inside is when it could get difficult. So we either check if the kitchen doors are locked or sneak past the front. Which do we do? Let's try the kitchen. We take the quiet way through the kitchen to be safe. I take it often. I can show you where it is, even in the dark. Dang it. I was hoping they wouldn't lock it. Sometimes they leave it unlocked. I'd sneak in for food. Oh, I found this earlier. Yeah, right. If you know how to pick a lock. In the darkness, I can barely see the faint object Zane holds up. Only my assumption could fit in the silhouette of a picklock or metal pin of some kind in his paws. Maybe I can try to pick it, but I'm not the best. Yeah, I'll get Zane to try. It's a DC-8, so he'll have a better chance than I do. Here goes nothing. Oh, yes, well done, Zane. The stopping click of metal has me holding my breath. I look to Zane, who slowly reaches the handle, unsure whether the click was the sound of success or the snap of the metal pin. Unsure, that is, until the twist of the handle opens the door. Oh, look at that, I got it. Here, you can keep this. I don't want to carry everything. Zane mentions as he tosses the picklock to me. No time to cheer. Mayo speaks the truth, we make haste inside. The interior of the castle sat dark, as if the residents from home had snuffed the candles and went to bed. Why is it so dark? Where is everyone? If no one was suspecting a sudden night, they've not had the time to light the candles yet. And the cooks? I assume the cooks were in hiding, probably barricaded in their quarters. Yeah, makes sense. That is good for us. Only the guards will be out. We must look for Cora quickly. It's a winding hall we have to take to the main hall. From there we can cross it to the stairs. Those lead almost directly to Cora's room. And that's where she'll be? I don't know. Either that or the Vera, maybe? Well, let's go. We crept low and steady through the halls. Part of my being egged me to walk quicker, to get to Cora's room as fast as we could. Yet I felt as though even Mayu could sense my unsteadiness. She'd put her arm out to us consistently. Slow and quiet, she whispered as she led the way. Here, the stairs. Come on. Cora's room was not far from the stairs. Strangely, the door to the right hung wide open. No one is here. She never leaves her door like that. Voices in the hall catch my attention. Peeking from the doorway, I see two guards down the hall as they carry a torch and stick. They stop to light candles as they talk. I think the seeker is comfortable. Come on, dear, don't joke. It's foul the Queen had to put in the dungeons. You could have just locked her in her room. Yeah, just going soft for guard. She's fine. Whatever. Something like these candles. It must be so dark in here already. You talking about Cora in the dungeons? Why would they do that? We need to make sure she's okay, but we need to stay calm. Right now, we do not worry as to why. What we must do is act. Let's head to the dungeons. It's not far. Yeah, around the corner. Oh, not far now. What? The knight and Soma, Mayu, head into the cells. Yes. Now out of the way. If you haven't checked back with the Queen's guards, you must. The siege is still underway and... Lies! No siege, no nothing. Give me my sister back. I don't have her. No one's been held in the cells. Fenrir steps to the guard for a simple smack with his blade against the stone wall. The ring of metal freezes Fenrir in his tracks. The wolf glares menacingly, gripping both hands to his halberd. Don't make me. You'd harm a child. Maybe we should head back. Rivera can tell us what's going on, and we can make sure Cora is safe that way. What are you on about, Mayu? Already decided. See if we can convince this guard to stand aside. I don't trust Rivera. She is up to something. No one is in the cells, then you wouldn't mind that we passed. There's nothing down here for you. Let my sister go. Ah! Fenrir leaps in desperation. A single blow from the halberd's metal shaft sends him toppling to the stone wall. Yield. There are several of us. Only one of you. I alone could cut you down. When one has what I do, nothing scares you. The guard leaps to Soma, his first blow easily deflected. Let's see if we can get him out. I sprint towards the guard. He braces best he can, and doing so sends him stumbling less so than I'd hoped. He stumbles first into the stone frame before smashing against the glass. The impact cracks the glass, sending him off his feet long enough for Soma to strike beside me. The guard attacks me. I strike the guard. The blade cuts under a piece of his armour as the guard yelps out in pain. The guard attacks me. I strike the guard. He staggers from the strike. The guard slashes with our blades, holding himself from reach. Zane slashes with his halberd. The guard swings his weapon. The strike of metal deflects Zane's blow. I strike the guard. He staggers from the strike. The guard attacks me. I strike the guard. Natural 20, nice. The blade cuts in a piece of his arm and the guard yelps out in pain. The guard falls to his knees, frantically grasping at the small orange object he pulls from his pockets. A thin aura-like substance glides across his body as he fades into nothingness. What the hell? Zane, nearby, steps back and turns to Soma. What was that? Was it mist magic? That was no magic of Rixlian, no. I do not know what that was. Are you okay, Fendur? Mayo leans down, helping to his feet. Fendur is winded, but nods. We should be careful. We can head to the Vera if we need to. With that word, Fendur glares. After. Soma sheathes his blades, leading the final stretch to the cells. Nice. I'll just leave you while I spend some stat points. Okay, we go. I decided to put a point into Arcana there, might help out. Okay, right, I hear this might help you. Zane approaches me gently, pulling a potion from his bag and applying it to my wounds. Down here everything feels quiet. Our steps clatter on the floor, echoing off the stone around us. The only sound accompanying us is the flicker of the torches that light the hall. We round the corner to the stretch of metal bars and gates. Unease beset me. That was when we saw her, yet her form hardly recognisable. She sits on a wooden bed frame, her knees curled to her chest. Only the corner of her face noticeable as she stares at the ground. Cora? But she didn't reply. We slowly approach. I flicker her ear, but she does not turn. She doesn't speak. Tess! Fendur grabs the bars in distress, appalled at the sight of his sister. His words bring her to life. Cora turns. Her eyes widen as she's pulled from whatever ailment constricted her mind. With great relief, sound escapes her lips. Fendur! She leaps the bars, grasping her hands around Fendur's fingers and the cold metal beneath. Knight, why did you bring him here? I led them here. The overheard guards, they took you here. Why? We need to get you out. I'm fine. I think they put me here for my own safety during the attack. I don't know. Are you okay? Yeah, they didn't hurt me, but the Seeker has passed. Soma looks down, concern riddled across his face. What is it? We do not know who caused the attack, or what is truly happening. There are not enough culverins to ever lay siege. The guards are plotting something. Is my mother okay? Is this why I couldn't finish my name day? Suddenly, the sound of the dungeon door croaks as it scrapes across the stone floor. The groans echo effortlessly down the hall. Oh, quick, hide, behind the crates. No, I'm not leaving Cora. I'll be fine. It'll be easy if they don't see you. She stands abruptly, still holding on to the bars. Geraint, you must take Fendur away from here. They won't harm me, but they might him. I nod as we quietly shuffle around the corner, ducking behind several crates that line the wall. Fendur fought it at first, only caving the moment to hear the sounds of steps drawing near. I can't see from behind the corner, but I listen intently as the sound of keys rattle in the cell door. For a while no one speaks until the door creaks open. Where are we going? Cora inquires weakly. Queen Nevera, was all the guard spoke, its voice stern, almost familiar. Was that? No, how? With nothing else that we could do, we waited for their steps to fade from down the hall. We need to follow them. We need to escape with Fendur before it gets too difficult to... Who knows if this darkness will continue to last or not? Soma, you should take Fendur and the others out of here. I'll follow them and see what else is happening. We should not split at a time like this. So many of us in close pursuit would be too noticeable. The knight is right. I'll go with him. The rest of you should take Fender out of Haven. We can meet up after. You must bring Cora. It's no place for her. It never was. We'll try our best. That's it then? Yes, just us. Small enough to follow the guards, but you'll need someone to lead you through the alleys. Let's go, before we lose them. With haste. Stay safe, you two. I nod as we split paths down the hall. Mayo and I alone follow the guards to the main hall of the castle, keeping safe distance. Reaching the main hall, we hide behind one of the pillars. I mimic much of Mayo's movements. The windows to the outside lit with several fires from the city. With that and the light from the nearby braziers, this room was the most lit of the entire castle. We had no choice but to listen to the voices of the others, daring not to peek and risk of being spotted. I'm so sorry, Cora. I was not aware they were taking you to the dungeons. That would be against any of us to do. What is going on, Mother? Cora's voice wavers. I hear the heavy thuds of metal on tiles the guards walk to the other ends of the room. We need you, Cora. Valencia needs you. There's something I must tell you. We've known for a while. Neo's descent has begun. The world is in trouble. Now come here. Let me see your wrist. My wrist? Now, Cora. A 10-second of silence passes where I hear the slow, soft steps of Cora. The sound of clothing shuffling reaches me as she approaches the Queen, followed by another strange, awkward stillness in the air. There's nothing here. What did the Seeker say? What did he give you? The sounds of Cora's voice chokes as she tries to answer. It was my name day. I did as any Seeker does. He's gone, Mom. What did he give you? The Vera sighs heavily after a long pause. We just want to help, Cora. Valentia will need us, now more than ever, me and you. An unnerving stillness lingers. I was told not to say. It was part of the Seekers. I already know. The Seekers are no more. They are not needed. Cora begins to sniffle, the wavering of her voice more insecure with every sentence. Rhodos has passed, and you do not care? We know this. We knew it would happen. Why are you so pathetic? Why do you have no empathy? Today was supposed to be my day. Look outside. Do you think this is something we could plan? The universe does not revolve around you, Cora. Silence follows the Vera's sigh. I already know what he gave you. I was hoping you'd trust me enough, but we see that is not the case. We must work together, but for now you're going to your room. Let go of me. You're being emotional, Cora. Stop. I don't want to go. You're not telling me anything. Why should I trust you then? I knew travelling for Seekership was a mistake. You've been away for too long. You don't even care for your own mother anymore. Guards? Really? Cora's voice turned sharp, pain rattling from her words. Quick thuds from the guards' boots echo as they run back across the room. The sounds of chain and cloth rustles. I glance at Mayo worriedly, but she slowly shakes her head. So we wait. I hear the sounds the guards begin to drag her across the floor. Let go of me! I don't want to be here anymore! I don't want to be here! With a shout to Cora, a sudden flash of blue erupts across the room, as if day had spawned the shadows of the pillars sharpened to a thin line on the walls across from us. With the flash of blue comes an instantaneous gust of wind I expect to feel on the edge of the sea. The force wavering the flags around us and snuffing the nearest brazier fires into smoke. The sudden light now vanished, followed by an even darker night. I slowly peeked from the corner of the pillar. With several of the nearest braziers out, I knew they couldn't see me. I stared for several moments, realising I too could hardly see. Finally, the silhouettes of the figures ahead stood out among the haze of darkness between us. Only 3 figures stood. Cora's figure seemingly vanished completely. What in Dikeum's evil was that? Where's my daughter? The guards shifted in bewilderment. Their hands once grasped at Cora's wrist, now outreached to nothing but air. A voice comes from the far side of the room. His steps slow, methodical. His voice sent an unwavering shiver down my spine. I told you, she has the Witcher's Shard, the power the Seekers draw from. I gasped, trying to maintain my silence behind the pillar. I can believe what I've seen. His wings waver behind his steps as he walked to the Vera's side. Where did she go? We won't know. I told you. You should let her finish the ceremony and cut her tongue like the others. Why would I defile my own daughter? You saw how this just went. She won't work with us then, and she might never. If she won't cooperate, the blade can take the stone. A tense silence ensues as I listen in. I can imagine the look Rivera could be making. It is fine. We don't need her. We have the spirit shard. Really? Yes. The new order located it from the divines themselves. Burned a tree that held it within the roots. And the conduits? We have dozens. The power of the ruins still hold true. They draw from its source. That easy? All it needs is some elven blood to activate it. We're close to finding the source. The final moon shard. Where? In the Sahara Sands, no doubt. They say a sort of arcane maze on the map. They're dreams, hard to decipher. But once we have 2 shards, we can easily get the 3rd. That's all we need? Valentia will have to listen now. We can still save ourselves. You won't only control Valentia. You will control Newa. You will be a god, my queen. Kali, don't disappoint me. You need to get it. There's no turning back now. Of course. If the Melentians do not side with their queen, then that is their choice. They will choose to die by the moon's fire. I hear the steps as Kali begins to walk away. And Kali, my queen, this is your last chance. The light above Haven was a fine enough trick. No one remembers it. But this mess better be quelled, or your death will be by my own hands. And this time, no conduits will be wasted to bring you back. It is going as planned. We may never know who truly killed the king, but you are winning Critchikind's trust. They'll have no one left to turn to if they're scared. You won't just be the most powerful of Melentia, but all of Tavnor. They rallied behind your speech. They roared your name. They will listen to you. Psst. You're right. The others will be waiting, and Cora's no longer here. You're right. Let's go for the catches here. Running through the castle halls, Mayo halted abruptly. I turned to her, confused. Keep going. I need to check on something. You know the way out for Haven? I slowly nod. What do you... Mayo, wait! I reach out to her as she runs down a separate hall. I turn after her but lose sight as she ducks quickly behind another door. What? She's so fast. Where is she going? I stood awkwardly for a moment, realizing all I can do now is head out alone. The city of Haven was quieter than ever before, the streets practically empty. I sprint through the capital, realising on every step as the details in the cracks of the cobblestones finally came to light. The sight came slowly at first, then it was as if day had returned its entirety, albeit the sky was still heavy with overcast. I looked through the clouds. A small hue of an orange circle fades through the clouds faintly. The sun peeked from behind a large reddened shadow among the sky. I stood for a moment, only now realising it to be the moon, but closer now, much too close. A voice nearby startled me, the sound of her steps completely void on her approach. "Night. Mayu? You caught up?" It was then I read the object within her hands. A dagger was drawn from its sheath, twisting uneasily within her grasp. What's going on?" "I talked with Lavera." "What did she say?" "She sent me to kill you." I stood shocked and without any other warning. Mayo leaps at me, his blade drawn. I throw my hand up, slamming her wrist and throw her to the side. She hits the wall, turning around quickly. Her face was void of any emotion. She didn't seem angry, only determined. "Why are you doing this? Why listen to Lavera?" "It doesn't matter. She knows you'll get in the way." "You'll trust her over me? What would Cora think?" "Do you not trust her too?" "You're wrong in every sense. I trust no one. I do what I must because... It doesn't matter. You'll be dead either way." I raise my hand and go to speak, just as Mayo swings her dagger. I try to step away but fail to dodge her unexpected blow. Little option left, I hold my blade to defend myself. I do not want to hurt or kill her. I don't know if we can break through this. Let's see if I can get away from her. Might mean leaving her alone, but... Okay, let's try and get away from her. No, I couldn't do this. As fast as my legs would carry me, I jump away and sprint through the streets of Haven. After taking multiple turns and passing several streets, I glance behind to see if she still follows. There was nowhere to be seen. It was at that moment I wondered if she'd given chase at all. Nevertheless, I was alive and free. The others should not be too far off now. Injured, I wonder if it's best to take a potion now or to wait. Don't know what's going to happen. Let's just on the safe side. Maybe I can buy some more later. The rest of the way to the outskirts was void of practically anyone, leaving me only to my thoughts as I ran. My mind wandered nervously the entire time. I hoped to see Soma and the others. Hope they made it out okay. I could only hope too that they waited for me. If they didn't, would they have left for Old Castle? Or if they weren't there either? For once, I realised I was entirely alone. Something in that felt terrifying. Even if they were there and waiting outside Haven, what did I tell them of Mayu? Of Cora? Nothing was normal about her disappearance. Something I've never seen before. Something I think I will only be saying more as of late. Today felt like a first for too many things. I started to feel nauseous to my stomach. To say I was relieved at the sight outside Haven would be an understatement. Not only were the guards still not present in the city walls, not only did I see the familiar shapes of Soma, Zane and the others in the dark overcast, but I saw them huddled around a familiar figure. Half hidden in the tall grass of the field, looking over someone sitting propped against a nearby fence post. The figure unnoticeable by her red hair and teal apparel, faintly visible in the looming evening. Cora? I swiftly run to their position, promptly kneeling down from the view of the road alongside them. I wasn't even thinking of whether she was hurt or not. No, my only thought I couldn't stop thinking was that she was here, she made it out. She's exhausted, Bendy mentions quietly. The unnoticeable thing showing Cora was even alive with the plumes of condensation coming from her soft breath in the cold air. A shiver, feeling the cold. Having noticed it now, was this Neo's doing? Where's Mayo? I'll tell you on our way back. It was the only thing I could come up with on the spot. I see a quizzical look in Summer's eyes, yet he didn't press it. Something about the look made me feel he knew, despite his best wishes. What happened to Cora? Is she okay? It was wild. We just barely got out of town and poof! Zane throws his paws to the air, symbolising surprise. She popped out of thin air like a bubble with a flash of blue light and strange gusts of wind. She fell to the ground in the middle of the field. Now that Geraint is back, Summer kneels by Cora, taking every small movement to carefully pick her up. We head to Old Castle. You can tell us everything that happened on the way. Right. I process everything first in my mind, realising now would be the best to tell them all that just transpired, Mayo included. Friend or foe, what she chose is done. Nothing can change that now. Are you carrying her the whole way? There's a stable down the road. We'll take a few horses. Worst case, they notice the missing. Damn, starting to sound like me. It is only necessary. That is all. Let's travel to Old Castle. Hours passed after the sun scraped across Neo's new form, the afternoon light giving us barely but a moment's notice for Aswin begins to set. With the chills of Tavern already felt, meant true night would only get that much colder. I was thankful when we saw the familiar old stones from before, the castle hardly standing. We made our way into the depths of the castle grounds just as the skies began to clear, the stars finally visible beyond parted clouds. The majority of the castle lay in rubble. No shelter was fully intact. Near a corner of the yard stood Kameo and a few members of the brigade, mixed with the remaining crew of Yarrow, Rashek and his men. The horse carrying Cora beside us neighed, following a soft sigh from Soma. Everything felt heavier, harder, even the air about us. We have a lot to do, and so little time. Never trust anyone who wants to be a god. Looks like Lavera's probably gone off the deep end, so we're gonna have to watch out for her next time. Yes, there is one chapter of our Seeker's Saga left, and that is broken into two, so there'll be two more videos coming. It's probably going to be quite a long one if I'm doing one, so there's a natural break built in for part 2 to start for chapter 8, so we'll be doing it that way, and part 1 will be along in May, then part 2 early June. We'll be wrapping up the saga. I hope you're enjoying this. There's a lot been going on in this one. I do worry about May. Well, maybe she'll come past that. We can do something when we can get hold of her again. But yeah, I was not going to attack her. I wasn't sure if there were any options to slightly injure her and to run, or whether just all the way. And yeah, I don't want to do that to her. But we made it out safely. So did Cora. Let's see what is going to happen as we get our brigade together and try to deal with this situation. We will find out. But in a change of tone for next weekend, if you heard, Glory Hound's got its new issue out, so I will be doing that one next week. That's a Thorny Milo side, because I just had to change my schedule, so I think the one after that then is Chainye. I think I'll check the schedule up. My patrons are due for being notified anyway, but yep, that's the plan. So also coming up next month, we have a new build of Nevin. That will be coming out just before I record it, so I'm looking forward to doing that one. And then what else do we have going on? Sanctuary is doing. I'll be doing that at some point. Some more Echo, hopefully. Yeah. And at some point, if not next month, then definitely June, just been a short starter video for a new route in Spectrum of Hybrids. I'm not quite sure. I've got 2 options. I don't know who we'll be doing yet, but we'll figure that one out. And that's all to come on Channel Black Fluid. Because I really feel like I'm doing a continuity rundown to tomorrow's programmes on BBC Comedy Wales or something like that when I do these. But that is it. Thanks again to Moonmunch Studio for not only making this, but for sending me the key to play this. It is available on Steam. You can definitely check it up there. And I don't know, there may be a sale coming up. There's a Steam summer sale approaching before too long, so you might want to pick it up then, if not before. It's really good. You'll see lots of other options if you play it yourself. As always, thanks to all my donors on Ko-fi and Patreon. You are very much appreciated. So I try to give you some perks, like letting you know what's going on when I know what's going on. As always, special mention to my top patrons: Andy Peng, Aaron Fox, Bastian, Bieker, Brian Hall, Gobus Visser, Dissonance, Zigzag, Grizz, Harvest Mouse Productions, Evan King, Kartek, Matt Kenya, Mario Cervantes, Lark Huskerton, Greylock, Addy Bear, Elpers Need Coffee, Amaranth Rasu, Tiger Cub, Smuto, Spiderling, Rafu and Omar. For now, our saga is paused. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.